Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about why is my ex silent? The truth behind their silence.
We all want to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into it, I did want to say that Craig and I are available for one-on-one coaching sessions. So if that is something that you're interested in, you can head over to our website and book from there.
Absolutely. You know, many of you have not heard from your ex in a while, and this is completely normal. This is actually what happens more often than not in a breakup. But I know what it's like. You're frustrated. You haven't heard from them. You have no idea if they're coming back. You may have not seen any signs yet. You may have not seen them do anything on social media yet. You're tired of not knowing. You're tired of being alone. You're tired of crying about it. You're tired of obsessing about it. You just want to be with them again. I know what that feels like. But we're going to talk about what happens in the silence, because there's often a lot more going on with that person than you realize, okay? They're going to hide a lot of things from you, because if they tell you these things, you're going to try and push to fix it. And they're not ready for that yet. So understand that your ex is going through a lot more than they realize. Now, this isn't always true. Sometimes people feel like it's truly for the best and they are moving on. But there are many, many, many situations where your ex does miss you and reconsider things.
Right. And it's an odd place to be at, because you are feeling abandoned, you are feeling hopeless about the situation and powerless. Meanwhile, they're on the other side feeling like they're the ones in control. They've made this decision for the relationship. Mm-hmm. And so they have a completely different sense of what's going on.
It's afterwards. So different.
It is so different.
They're just on complete opposite poles.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And so while you're dealing with a lot of uncertainty, they have been certain about that decision, they made it, and they're feeling this sense of accomplishment. We talk about separation elation happening often after a breakup for the dumper. Mm-hmm. And so this is something that we see often. Yeah. In their silence, at least in the beginning, they are feeling that empowerment. They are feeling, I've made this decision, I've gone through with it. Mm-hmm. Might have been a very difficult decision. It might have been very guilt-provoking for them, but they were able to do it, and now they feel released and free from the relationship. Yeah. So individuating, being able to make your own decision, being able to be independent again feels really good, especially for someone who's more avoidant. Mm-hmm. And so
the pressure feels off.
Yes. Yeah. They feel relieved. Mm-hmm. And they've convinced themselves that they're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. They've convinced themselves that this is the good decision to make. They believe it. That's why they did it, or else they wouldn't have. They believe they're going to be happier with this decision.
That's right. So don't try and change your mind.
No. And this is hard because you're on the complete other side. And you're thinking that they've made a mistake. They're going to regret this. And so if you try to get into this power struggle of you're wrong and I'm right, you're wrong about this decision to end the relationship and I'm right, that's going to feel like a challenge that's going to have them push you further away. They're going to feel like you're trying to convince them. They're going to feel like you're trying to manipulate them. Mm-hmm. And that's going to have them keep their distance. Because this decision was already hard enough for them, they don't want the decision to linger. You know, they've made that decision and they're done. You know, it's kind of like when you tell a telemarketer, no, I'm not interested, and they keep trying to sell you the product.
They won't get off the phone.
No, I'm not interested. Please don't ask me any more questions.
Yeah.
So that's the type of energy that they are experiencing.
Yep.
So you don't want to be that person that's applying more pressure to them once they've already set that boundary, once they've already made that decision.
It really hurts attraction. Mm-hmm. But you just have to understand that there is a lot that's going on for them, a lot that they're processing, a lot that they're thinking about in the back of their mind, maybe even trying to push it out of their mind at times. A lot of times what I see in the beginning is that they're still secretly blaming you for everything. This is tough, okay? Because if you have any kind of interactions with this and you're pushing interactions with them, you're going to see a lot of anger and hostility towards you. It's all going to be, well, you did this and you did that and you said this and you said that and you neglected this and this is why we're broken up and it's all because of you. Mm-hmm. Okay? I hear that a lot. So it's going to take a while for that to go away. Okay? So try and stay away from that. I have a guy that's going through that right now. The ex is all negative, all negative. The whole thing is his fault, and believe me, it is not. It is not. This woman is just as guilty as he is in the relationship, if not worse. And yet, because she's still stuck in this feeling of, I'm empowered here because he wants her back. She just feels like she can say and do whatever to him and he's going to tolerate it. And at this point he is, right? Because he has been. But I'm trying to get him to back away so she can get to a place where she starts to think, well, maybe it wasn't all of his fault. Maybe I caused some of these problems. And maybe your ex starts to go on dates with other people, and all of a sudden it starts to fall apart with other people. And they're not seeing that the problem is all you, that it's them as well. But it often takes some time to get there, and they're still filled with novelty and excitement, and they haven't experienced that loss yet.
Right? And this is going to be a chunk of time. And this is where many of us lose our patience. You know, we start to see them do well. We might get angry. We might try to reach out to them and express how we feel about what's going on in their lives. We might try to reach out and try to get some of that attention. You know, so at this point, we have to be very patient with whatever they're experiencing, even if it's very different from what we're going through. And once they've had that chance to really revel in their freedom, to really do whatever they want and feel like they have their independence back, that's when they will start to realize what they've lost. That's when they'll start to look back over their shoulder and think, okay, what has changed in my life? They will start to look back and then start to see the significance that you had in their life, the impact that you had in your presence. But they believe that if they reach out, that they're conceding, that they're going back on their word, and that you are going to want to fix things. So they're going to think automatically this person is available to me no matter what. I have this safety blanket. I have this safety net below me. So if I have the choice to continue to be independent or to return to this, I do. And that doesn't stir any anxiety in them. That doesn't stir any motivation for them to make a decision. I mean, think about even sales tactics. They talk about how, you know, if you phrase things as, oh, there's only 4 left. There's only 3. This is the last one. It's limited edition. You're going to lose it forever if you don't get it right now. And that really drives people to take action. And so in the same way, in our relationships, if we're saying, oh, we have, 20 in the back. Oh, you know what? They're on clearance too. We're not going to have that same sense of urgency. No. We're going to know that, okay, well, this person's on standby. And that's not a position that we want to put ourselves in the lives of others. We want to be with somebody who values us, that sees us as this limited edition, unique person and experience to have as a connection, to have as a partner.
But that's only going to happen if we present ourselves with our behavior in that way.
Right. And that's the situation where they would be willing to say, okay, I have all of this freedom. Oh, but this person that I really love and care about might not always be there for me like I thought they were. They're going to have to go through their own process of discovering that. And that does take time. It takes a lot of reflection. And it's going to be at a different rate than you. You're immediately feeling this is somebody valuable that I've lost. It's going to take them time to get there.
So your ex is by themselves thinking about these things, processing them, looking at things, what went wrong. And it shifts from kind of blaming you to starting to see things more clearly. Like they say, hindsight is 20/20. And so they start to realize, well, you know what? It wasn't all of him. I did do that thing. I did do that other thing that upset him and that started that fight. And they're able to take some responsibility with themselves first before they're going to be able to do it with you. It's not easy to own up to those mistakes.
Not at all. Yeah. And then talk about grief. This is not a process that you can hurry. And Margaret would always say, nobody can escape grief. There could be other factors in your ex's life that are also holding them back. These are other things to consider. Their mental health, their family. Family ties are strong. This is one that we see often. And this is one that's often missed. Now, a lot of times your ex will present a different reason because they have not self-reflected on their own life, their own family bonds. So they might give you another reason and you're thinking, what? This came out of nowhere. Then you remember, oh, their mom hated me. Or, oh, their cousin would always say nasty things about me and try to influence them out of the relationship. Or, oh, they have a sibling that's also going through a divorce or also going through a breakup. That's another one that we see often too. So family systems are a big reason that breakups happen. It can be really any major life event that they have to tend to, including illness, in some places natural disasters. So it could be a lot of different things. You really have to take a look at what else is going on in their life and try to look at the whole picture.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes those things resolving before they're able to deal with the breakup, before they're able to have the energy to try and repair things or reconsider repairing it. And, for you, it looks like a lot of nothing's happening. It looks like just silence and they don't care. But believe it or not, these are a lot of the things your ex is secretly going through in that silence. These are the things that are keeping them from reaching out and repairing those things. Now, like I said, it doesn't happen for everybody, and not everybody's going to come back. But if you focus on growing and healing and bettering yourself, you're going to put yourself in a great position to have a successful life with either them or other people. So that's the beauty of the breakup, is that it really motivates people. Just don't let it keep you limited to obsessing about where they're at and what they're doing. If you need your ex to motivate you to get into therapy or to grow as a person or to heal the trauma you've had in your life, that's fine. But ultimately, you want to do it for you and your own best interest.
Right. And there can be many reasons as to why an ex is silent. We've talked about some of those reasons today. We talked about the separation elation. We talked about different things that are ongoing in their life. We've talked about them taking you for granted, being part of that silence. So you have to assess in your own situation, what is going on here? And how do I respond to this silence? How do I move forward from this? How can I take this time in order to restore what mental health I have left? If you're going through a breakup, we know how hard it is.
Yep.
And get yourself to a good and stable place to where their silence does not bother you as much.
Yep.
Many of you are plagued by it. It causes you so much anxiety, and that can cause your mental health to deteriorate, can cause you to spiral. This is really about a time of self-soothing if you are in a situation where your ex is silent. So we are also here to help as much as we can.
Yep.
Which is why we offer coaching sessions. So if your situation is something that you want to talk through with us, we know every situation is very different. We know that some situations are very complex or very alternative. We talk about pretty much anything under the sun. So
that's right. We've seen it all.
We have seen it all. I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate.
Blessing and a curse.
Exactly.
All right. So hopefully this one's been helpful to you in understanding what's going on with your ex and why they may have been silent or why they may continue to be silent. And, if you want to get one-on-one coaching, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching. I do Skype. Coach Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm here whenever I can help.
Just click on her name on the top of the website. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.